What's up, everybody? Randy with Nerds Templar. Sydney here with you. It's your tail wagging. We are checking out this new arrival from Cardboard Empires. We're still waiting on one delivery of single cards. Other than that, I think we got everything now from TCG Player. I was looking at maybe making another small order, and when I say that, a single card order, and that usually will consist of just $5 or maybe a little over $5 orders at a time. Or if I do, a couple, it'll be each place like I did this time will be $5-ish just to get that free shipping at least. And then from there, whatever else we might need. But I was looking actually at maybe another order from one of the 4 we already ordered from. Well, we ordered from 6. Yeah, and 5 not including this one, which is different because it's a sealed product still. Well, kind of different, not really. So then there was 5 others. We have 4 come so far. One of those 4 was by the name of Side of Ice, and I actually still have his little. No, I don't. Thought the envelope was still here. I guess that was one of the ones that just came in that I opened last time. But that was a pretty decent one. Not a whole lot of purchases, a couple bad reviews from him, but my cards I was happy with, so I was looking at maybe placing another order from a different set from there, maybe from him. It'll be very similar, a lot of commons and uncommons, just filling out a lot of a different set. Anywho, just I guess quickly to show what we got here, still to open our Pikachu V Shining Fates collection. Got that because of Pokemon Day 2024, and of course not timing anything else right, I ended up having to grab that so I could get this promo card for free. It's just hanging out there, Cinderace, and that's just one of the cases, harder covered cases that we got from all the single cards that we've been buying. They've come in nice handy things that we've been able to use for other stuff. So there's the Shining Fates. That'll probably be the next thing we get to after this. And then this is the only thing we have left other than those, our Trainer's Toolkit. As I've been saying, this is going to be the last thing we get to, at least for now, because again, this is all we got for now. We'll have again one more single coming in. We'll probably pair that up. Hopefully I'll be able to pair that up with Shining Fates and it'll come in tomorrow or something. Who knows? Maybe it won't. That'd be cool. Actually, you know what? So I will probably just end up waiting on that. Waiting till that next and last package comes in. And then whenever that does, I'll end up opening Shining Fates up. And then that'll leave only our Trainer's Toolkit. But, once we get a little closer maybe to Easter at the end of the month here, maybe I'll make another not large purchase, but maybe like I don't know, if you caught some of the other previous episode, I went into, at the end, after I did everything, I was just hanging out and chatting to myself really, but to you as well, for whoever watched, about what I may purchase in the future. And that may be, I don't know, it could potentially be an Elite Trainer box of some sort. So that might be the next thing. Spoiler alert, that is coming after this stuff. Who knows? We shall see. If you're kind of following what's going on here from Pokemon Center purchases, TCG Player purchases even, well, at least maybe you'll start seeing, I guess, a pattern of getting older stuff that might be in danger. At least I'm thinking might be in danger of rising in price, whatever, and starting there and working my way upward, while at the same time, from Dollar General, the local Dollar General, or my local comic book store and card shop, getting some of the newer stuff also from those outlets. So anywho, yeah, so actually yesterday when we went back to our local Dollar General, I did find more mini tins. So they had, the first time I went to look for cards at all, they had these, I believe they're called, actually they should be on the back here. Yeah, Paldea Friends mini tins. And so I grabbed what they had. They had 5, and 2 of them were duplicates. I think there was a duplicate Sprigatito. No, there was actually only 4, and the Pikachu was the only duplicate. But I ended up getting 3, and they're even consecutive picture-wise. And now they have earlier ones from 2020, and they are Galar Forces, I think it's called. And so there's 3 of those currently available. There's 2 of each of 2 of the 2 different ones, and then there was 1 of the other one that was the 5th. That's the one I bought. So I will have to go back at some point soonish and grab the other 2 before some, because now apparently, because I went for the Vivid Voltage packs, which, oop, no, wrong drawer. I went for Vivid Voltage packs because they had a ton of them when I went the last couple times, but it's been a bit. When I went, I was like, you know what, okay, I'm going to go there, and I'm going to get the other 2 card sleeves, and then I'll have a nice little set, the nice card sleeve set of 4. But when I went, there were only 4 or maybe even only 3 left, and they were all Pikachu. So missed out on that. If I really wanted to, I could maybe hope to get lucky on TCG Player, buying random sleeve boosters, and just hope I get the other 2. Anyway, they didn't have those, so that's why. But what they did have that was new was a whole new case, display case, you know, of the mini tins, and that was the Galar Forces mini tins case. And some ones had already bought out. There's 5, and there's 2 of each. Someone already bought out the other 2 types because there was only 3 altogether, 2 of which, Galarian Rapidash and Galarian Obstagoon, both had 2 left. And whatever I had, it was like, it was a dragon type Pokemon. There was only 1 of him left, and that's what I got. So there are already half of them gone, so I should probably rush back there before they're all gone. Not rush too much, but so that will actually, I guess, overall be the next purchase we make semi soon, I guess. There's not anything else I have to get there. Slowly they're running out of all the other stuff that they had, the Silver Tempest mini portfolios, and again those boosters from Vivid Voltage, and also the Scarlet Violet single promo blisters, which I got, all of which I got, and also those the Blissey and the Gardevoir tins seem to be restocked pretty often. I also saw those at a different Dollar General, so maybe there's just a ton of those at the Dollar General warehouse. So I don't know. Anyway, it was cool that they had something new, and the Walmart locally, of course, is like restocking all the time. So I actually kind of gave up on that. Although now knowing that, unfortunately, the comic book store / card shop, local one, it doesn't actually have anything too old. It does incentivize going to Walmart more often, just to check it at least before I head to the card shop, because they are pretty close. So anyway, without further ado, this was, like I said, Cardboard Kingdom, Cardboard Empires, and I'm sure that we have nothing to worry about. Hopefully, sealed product here, not one of the, obviously, not single cards. Oh, there we go. All right. Trying not to knock my coffee or the camera stand over. And there you have a look at what we got. I actually explicitly pointed this and the older Battle Academy out while looking around on stuff yesterday. Looking around on Pokemon Center at what was in stock, and talking a bit at the end of the video. So there you go. The newer of the 2 Battle Academies. Pretty cool. There's also something very similar to this, is they're like learned. I can't even remember what it's called now, but it's like a My First Battle. That's what it is. And they have like My First Battle, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Pikachu. I'm pretty sure. And they're like in bundles, and you can get, I think it's Bulbasaur slash Pikachu in a bundle, and you can get a Charmander Squirtle bundle. Anyway, those cards, all of those, they're not like actually, they're not real Pokemon cards. So if you look on the back of them, they don't look like the rest. They don't have the same logo. So you couldn't use them for any kind of traditional battling. And even if you want to do some kind of like wild battle kind of play on your own, like, you know, like I plan to do with the fam, where, you know, kind of like anything goes, you still wouldn't be able to do that because the card backs are different. So you would need to use, you know, cards that at least all have the same back. So you wouldn't be able to go outside of the My First Battle decks to make a different kind of deck if you want to use any of those cards. But in the case of these things, these come with 3 pre-made decks, and they're like extremely cheap. This one was even cheaper because I didn't get it from Pokemon Center, as you saw. Of course, I got it from TCGplayer.com, and it was, I think it was 20 regularly on Pokemon Center. It was like 12 on TCG Player. So that was great. Great condition, I would say. I mean, they're like a little tiny, barely dent in the box, which is probably just from shipping and stuff. But like, that's awesome. Again, Cardboard Empires, thank you very much for the very, very fast delivery too of this. Let's see what all you got in here, because I actually am not really sure, other than having 3 pre-made decks, which are pretty cool because it's an Eevee V, a Pikachu V, and a Cinderace V deck. I mean, that's awesome, just having a Pikachu and Eevee V pre-made deck. But then again, all the cards are actual cards, which I assume also means they come from actual expansions. At least the vast majority would. So we got, read this first. This box contains everything you need to learn how to play the Pokemon trading card game. Awesome, because again, I'm hoping, I guess I didn't mention this, I'm hoping to use this to do what I mentioned in the past, which is hopefully get the family, the kids, into playing the actual not just collecting, which I haven't gotten them into that yet either, but also into battling, you know, because I don't know. I think it's one of the more strategic. I think I would consider it more strategic than Yu-Gi-Oh, to be honest. Anyway, you can also learn to play by watching the tutorial video. Pokemon. Okay, so take out the game board, set it up. Okay, it's gonna. Yeah, it's telling you even to start off with Cinderace and Pikachu, I guess. But that's like, okay, yeah, so use that and you can immediately start playing because it's going to give you this like instant rolls. There's the Eevee deck, just making sure that exists. And of course, then you have deck tutorials, so that's pretty cool. Well, rules of reference doesn't look like that contains an Eevee deck tutorial, just rules reference, but then you do have deck tutorial for I guess that's why they tell you to start with those 2. Is there do you have any? Yeah, okay, so just wondered if there was a way, like, if you want to learn more about, if you want an Eevee one, go to whatever.com/whatever. But no, yeah, with Eevee, you're on your own, I think. That's okay. So, but that's fine. So it gives you 2. Good way to start. I mean, if you really don't know what you're doing, but again, if your kids are, if you know what's going on, then you can help. Again, assuming that you're helping some kids learn to play, then you don't necessarily need the roles. But yeah, let's look at this real quick. Is it telling you a bit about the deck itself? I mean, it's going to tell you a little bit about how to use the deck as well, so that's useful. So it would at least take the adult looking at the Eevee deck, kind of figuring out. But I would imagine and I'm surprised that they wouldn't have started with the Pikachu and Eevee, just because I have a very good feeling that if I were to present this to the kids, the decks that they would want to use would be the Pikachu and the Eevee deck. For Pikachu versus Eevee would be the first battle, I would guarantee you. Which means, because you don't want to limit, you never want to limit them right off the bat. I'm kind of surprised that it didn't come with an Eevee one as well, just because, why not? Nothing else. Awesome though. Awesome thing. I definitely wouldn't mind having the other one as well, the older one with Charizard, Raichu, and someone else that is cool. So even better, you have an actual like board game board 2-player mat, which is very rigid to begin, but that's okay. Seems very solid. Get this stuff out of the way. Actually, yeah, we'll just throw those right back into the box. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about this. I hope everyone else feels the same. Easy to learn, a ton of stuff to start off right off the bat with. Yeah, let's put this back in the box too, actually. We don't need anything else out. The board is a big plus, in my opinion. Of course, you get the rolls, decent sized, the Eevee covered, decent sized rolls guide. Prize cards 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So is that right? 1, 2, it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so then I'm wondering, because if I were to try to do like my own pre-made small half-sized decks, I was wondering how many prizes you could do for like a half game, which I guess you could do 3, because I know that they've sold, at least in the past, 30 packs or 30 card decks, like mini decks. So I'm pretty sure that was a thing. So yeah, that could also be a nice way to introduce the game to even younger kids. Like, this could be good for ones that are a bit older than the 6+ rating. Maybe if you're talking to like 6, 7, 8, maybe even, maybe you could go with your own pre-made half day. That's what I'm going to use, like a lot of my duplicates that I would like to help the kids learn value, and also sort of give them cards slowly for, whatever reason. And until they almost have like a mini deck that they could use. So there's Pikachu V, obviously amazing. And that is it's actually straight from Vivid Voltage. Speaking of Vivid Voltage, zoom in here. Talking about that earlier, and there's a nice Vivid Voltage Pikachu V. And this is Fusion Strike. Okay. So this isn't like that old of a thing. So again, it is the newer of the two of them. So should have a lot of newish cards. That's the Sword and Shield. I'm pretty sure. Again, that looks kind of like a butterfly. Great Ball. Decks will be similar, other than the Pokemon in them, obviously. Zebrestrika might have him Vivid Voltage. Blitzel Vivid Voltage. I'd have a lot of Vivid Voltage in Pikachus. Which also looks kind of similar, especially on my bad camera, to the Sword and Shield base. So that Hop is Sword and Shield base. That's a Fusion Strike Luxio. Luxio, that's awesome. Is there Luxray in here? Switch from, oh yeah, and there's also, and maybe that's, I mean, it's the difference, but look, so this is what I'm talking about. So back is exactly the same as any other Pokemon card. One thing about this, though, that's different, it's not just a Luxio from Fusion Strike. It's a Luxio from Fusion Strike that also has this Pikachu deck stamp on it. So if you ever forget which ones, even this has a Pikachu deck stamp. And it is 60. So is it working its way backward? It might be. Just like randomly. It is extremely randomly stamped. But these are going 60, 59, 58, 57, 56. But the cards are in like a random order, but the numbers are working their way back. That's funny. Okay. So anyway, that's that. Whoa. Sonia. That's from... So that's a big that's big. So these aren't going to have... this would be a whole different thing trying to find the value of these. In fact, it wouldn't be that difficult because TCG Player has this as a filter option, the Battle Academy thing, I suppose. But again, one of the biggest points was that you can mix these if you wanted with other cards and use them in battle still. Sorry, my dog is sleeping. Fusion Strike. Shauna. A great ball from Sword and Shield again. We've got to have a bunch of electric energy with lightning energy, that is, with the stamp. Bug Catcher. That's Fusion Strike. Again, I guess it really doesn't matter where it's from now. There's a Luxray though, Shinx with it. Boss is old as. Lightning energy again, Hop. Shinx. Potion. Lightning energy. Great Ball. Luxio. Switch. Lightning. Zebrastrika. Hop. Energy Recycler. Lightning Energy. Blitzel. Great Ball. Luxray. Nice, nice, nice. Electric Energy, or Lightning Energy. So Luxray is like the main, what would you call it? The main Pokemon of the deck, other than Pikachu V, obviously. Bug Catcher. Zebrastrika. Another good one, though, I guess. It's at least an evolved form of something in the deck. Shauna. Morpeko. That's the first one of those we saw. More lightning. Shinx. Potion. Energy. Boltuned. Nice. Oh yeah, that's right. We did see Jumper, which means that we had to have Boltuned coming up. There he is. Nice. Blitzel. Luxio. It's a cool deck. I like this deck. Not bad. And a bunch of energy. And you can almost take this out and just play it. I'm going to keep it in this order. Shinx. Ooh, Zeraora. Just in case they don't want you to shuffle if you actually use those rule books and they want you to draw these first whatever cards, 5 or 7, whatever. I don't even know that much about how to play anymore. But there's a Zeraora, which is pretty cool. Energy, Blitzel, Energy, Yamper. Sounds a lot like a good starting hand, but Pikachu V is on the very bottom, so that's not cool. Throw that back in there in the nice deck box. Scare my dog while I'm at it. We'll definitely get those in and get the Pikachu V and all the other, all those other holo cards will go into a thing. Probably the mini portfolio. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly where, but of course those were that would have been a Vivid Voltage, but it's not because they're all stamped. They're all marked. So easy to tell just by advanced deck, player 1 and player 2. So player 2 has to be Pikachu. Player 1 has to be Cinderace. And the advanced player has to be Eevee. Easy to tell, of course, which deck is which from the colors, but it only says on the one side where the picture also is. Good morning, Sydney. Hey, kick me off the couch, why don't you? Thanks. All right. Got another card stuck. like last time? No. Alright, there we go. Cinderace V, which is an actual stage 3 Pokemon, or 2 or whatever, but of course when it's a V, it's always basic. Pretty cool card. And of course, dealing with a fire deck, we got Shauna. There's the little mark. Try to, if my camera wants to, there you go. Little Cinderace icon. Switch, hop, Sizzlipede, Great Ball, Pokemon Catcher, Victini. It's an uncommon from Celebrations, or one of those special ones. Maybe not Celebrations, whatever one would have been around that time. Hop, Scorch, Firebug, Shauna, Pokemon Catcher again, Great Ball again, Bug Catcher, Larvesta, another Firebug, Sonia, Volcarona. I don't know what exactly that is. Yeah, it is also, I guess, technically a bug. Is it a bug type in the game? I'm not sure. Potion, Hop, bunch of trainers, Switch. Tornador, so there's one that's not a bug. Turtle, Fire Turtle. Pretty cool card. Strong. Maybe a lot like the Zeraora from the last Pikachu V. Cool fire energy. We don't have too many fire energies. I don't think I've gotten any fire energies from any boosters I've opened recently. And fire energy is the smallest by far stack of old energy cards I have. So, very interesting. Even though I've had 2 decks with fire energies in them recently. Not recently, but the last 2 decks I ever got were fire included. Fire, at least. One was mainly fire, one was secondarily. Larvesta, fire. Fire. Bug Catcher, Great Ball, fire energy. Vulpix. Nice. Good, because I may have looked once at what this deck had in it, but these decks, but then I actually I may have never. I had a chance, obviously, just like right now, but I didn't look because this is more exciting. Volcarona, let's hope that we have a Ninetales in here. That'd be great. Ninetales. Sweet. That's a Fusion Strike Ninetales. Of course, again with that stamp. Fire Energy, Shauna, Fire Energy, Larvesta, Vulpix. Maybe just 2 Vulpix and 1 Ninetales. Maybe 3, 2. Doesn't look like there's a lot of those. Scorch, Sizzlipede. It's more about those guys. Vulpix there again. Maybe there's only 3, 1. That would, I guess, be... 3, 2 seems more. Bunch of fire energy. There's the second Ninetales. Maybe 1 more Vulpix, but 3, 2, I believe, is what we're going to end up with. Sizzlipede on top, yeah. It did tell us in that roll thing to play the Sizzlipede, so... Oh, there's Victini, too. We missed that. So there would be 2 Pokemon and 3 energies drawn, and Ninetales would be the next one. Let's check what that guide thing says real quick. Pretty cool deck there too, though. So the Volcarona, I guess, would be what you could say is the other premier card, other than the Cinderace V, and then followed by probably the Ninetales. Just like it was a Luxray, and then there was another one for Pikachu V that kind of came up second there. That maybe wasn't a 3-part evolution, but 2-part. Anyway, let's see. You know what would have been cool to have a Magmar in the Cinderace deck and an Electabuzz in the Pikachu deck, but hey, I digress. Because you could have also put like a, I don't know, Kangaskhan or something in the well, I mean, you have so many other options, so many options for a normal type in Eevee deck, but we'll see what Eevee contains in a moment. That shall be exciting, because I mean, obviously we got fire and Cinderace V, and obviously we have electric and Pikachu V. So yeah, okay, yeah, check that out. It doesn't want you, do not shuffle the deck. Cool. So that's interesting. That's good to note. That's interesting. Very, very, very interesting. They're really trying to streamline that learning experience, but that's good, because that's another reason you can almost skip that whole My First Battle thing that they made. I'm not sure why they did that. I'm not sure why because those are pretty new. I don't know why they would do that when they have this. This is so much better. But hey, whatever. I don't have to buy it, and I'm not gonna. But again, like I said, I'm gonna have to go to TCG Player to do it. But that's where I went for this anyway. But I am gonna probably get the other Battle Academy eventually, just because I mean Charizard V, Raichu V, and I think it's a legendary. I'm not sure who it was though. Can't remember. Reshiram maybe, or something like that. I don't know. Here we go with the Eevee deck. So this is exciting. I'm kind of most excited about this, but also Pikachu's cool. So I don't know. I do like Eevee and the Eeveelutions, as I've mentioned multiple times. Of course, there's not going to be any Eeveelutions in here, so don't get your hopes up. I'm already over that being a possibility at all, because this is the premier card, the EVV itself, right? Not something else. We didn't even get like a regular Pikachu in the Pikachu deck. Of course, if that happened, then the Cinderace would probably have to have the whole starter line. But I like that Eevee. That is actually a promo from Sword and Shield. In that logo, that icon doesn't have a, because didn't those have a, oh, they had numbers for the number of the deck. That's right, because they don't want you to, oh, so you can reorder the deck and then flip it to play by the rule thing. Yeah, that's interesting. This one you have to shuffle because it's not ordered. It's not even, maybe it's just Eevee that's flipped the wrong way. Darkness Energy. That's an interesting way to begin things. Okay. I really like that. It's a promo Sword and Shield 65, promo 65, but again, Eevee stamp. Darkness Energy. I have a decent bit of these. I mean, recently at least. None from back in the day, because I didn't play long enough to really get any. I played when they were rares, and then that was about it. We have a bunch of the energy, and everything's kind of flippity and flopped around. A lot of energy. Okay, well, basically just all the energy on top. Obstagoon. Okay. Well, so I guess this is a dark deck. Galarian Obstagoon is a Sword and Shield promo as well. So it doesn't have a rarity. Was there a yeah, Cook was from Fusion Strike. Pierre's, whatever his name is supposed to be. So this deck is completely different than the other ones. Oh, Sonia. Except for that, there's Galarian and Linoon. So 2 Obstagoons, 3 Linoons, 4 Zigzagoons probably. I like when decks are like this, when they're just in order, so I can see all the cards like that. Bug Catchers. Shauna. We, not just me, but we. Mostly, at least. Hop. We had that one random one. Or maybe that was all there was of that. Great Ball. Maybe we have no other Pokemon except for Zigzagoon. Maybe we don't. Switch. And okay, there we go. Zoroark and Zoroa. 2 of him. 3 Zoroas maybe. Okay, and then one more Pokemon. So I get it, it's the same. It's just they were all at the end. Sharpedo, that's cool. Sharpedo. And Carvana. And is there some basic that doesn't have any evolutions? Because we didn't see that, right? Yeah, they're Darkrai. Nice. Sweet. That's a pretty cool deck, I'd say. Very good, very good. Interesting thing you could add to this deck is an Umbreon, maybe. Anyway, well, I mean, there's no Eevee itself, so it's not like you're evolving Eevees into that Umbreon, but you could add an Umbreon or perhaps an Umbreon B, such as, right? Or, well, maybe you're only allowed one V in a deck. Who knows? I don't, because I don't know the rules yet. We'll get there because now we have a rule book. We've actually had a rule book in our trainer toolkit for a bit now, but we haven't opened it yet, so we haven't been able to use it. But that's that. The Eevee deck, the Cinderace deck, the Pikachu deck. Cinderace player 1, Pikachu player 2, Eevee the advanced deck. Of course, the nice board game board for 2-player battles. Amazing, amazing. What you can do during your turn right there, smack dab in front of your face, for the age that can read properly enough to read all of that. But again, this is labeled for 6+, and I'll guarantee you that many 6 and even 7-year-olds that aren't going to be able to read all the rules efficiently, but you can obviously explain them easy enough. It's not like this game is that difficult. It just takes, I mean, once you get into it, just like most games like this, easy to get into. It's harder to master because, of course, once you get into the different types, the V Max, all those, everything else that they've made that I have no idea how to use, plus just what you have in the game, being able to switch your Pokemon out, what kind of deck you're using, if it's one that you're switching a lot, or if you're healing yourself back, or if you're dealing damage to yourself to deal more to the opponent, or if you're doing things to your opponent, like maneuvering your opponent's stuff around. There's all sorts of, there's so many different things you can do, but so anyway, that's why it's so fun, strategy wise. There's a lot to kind of get the mind going, get the brain juices flowing, and it's just fun. And all of that combined with the fact that it's also a great, nice little collection, a thing if you're a collector type. It's a great thing to collect. Pokemon cards seem as though, they have a great value that's only rising. And so, I don't know. I think it's a great thing for kids. Now, I've talked, again, I'll continue to mention it. I usually talk about the fact that really the anime doesn't have anything to offer at all. So I would just stay away from the anime completely. The games are pretty awesome. That's pretty good. The newer ones, I still need to work through the newer ones to see how problematic they might be. But for the most part, with the newest ones that I've played so far, what I've seen from them, it's no worse than, most other things these days. So unless you're going to completely ban any kind of entertainment, then they're okay enough. And of course, if you're hanging around and there is something that's at least a little problematic, at least philosophically speaking, from a Christian or Catholic worldview, then you can just point that out. And sometimes you can even do so in a funny way. And I think sometimes that kind of helps. In a lighthearted, funny, sort of half mocking way, if you will, even at how silly some of the things can sometimes be, and then go from there. Yeah. Anyway, that's it, I suppose. We will be back soonish. Hopefully. I guess I don't know for sure because I said the next time I do come back, it's going to be that Pikachu V box being opened. but that'll be whenever my final thing arrives, which is almost like an extra place for an extra deck box in here. That thing, which is the final single cards from TCG Player, and the final thing altogether that I have coming right now. And then we shall be done. And between that, and maybe between that and the Trainer's Toolkit, there may be some mini tins coming from Dollar General. 2 more of those. Hopefully, if I can get them in time. And then that'll pretty much be that. The end of the month, we'll see maybe one more thing coming, and then who knows after that. That will be that for what I see in the at least in the near future. The planting season is going to be getting underway, so that'll be happening on Academia Christi, that channel, more heavily, and I'll be outside doing that kind of stuff. Things are going to start ramping up here at the Catholic community that is now going to soon, hopefully, officially be able to open its doors. So those things will have me occupied, but at the same time, hopefully, they will also be adding sources of income for me personally, as well as for other, outside of myself things. But the personal income can always, some of it at least, be used for getting a little more of this. And of course, if you want to donate toward the Nerds Templar endeavors, we don't just open Pokemon stuff and talk about it and look through things and evaluate, but I think I give not only tips about Pokemon itself and the card games and whatnot, and hopefully, soon we'll be maybe I'll be doing not just live stuff, but playing the video games, of course, too. I would love to do a video game series on all the Pokemon games. We'll see about that. Again, time management, time constraints is going to be the big thing. But again, on top of all that, this is an initial, at least, and this will hopefully lead into more explicitly a series on Pokemon, the philosophy behind the fantasy. But I've talked about a few things already in previous videos, so you're not getting just me opening packs. There's a bit more in there, and especially if you're interested, definitely leave a comment on it. If the more comments I see, the more incentive I'll have to do it sooner, to put out that more philosophically oriented video, just talking videos, that is, series, talking more specifically about again, the worldview, the philosophy behind Pokemon, and how that coincides or doesn't coincide with reality / the Catholic understanding of the world, which is the truth. That's what we profess to be true. And so, yeah. But we'll talk about that. Leave a comment for sure if you'd be interested in that. Like this video, subscribe. That will also obviously give me incentive to continue to do this. And you can't really donate at the moment, but maybe some point soonish. Again, if I see, once I get this channel back up and running. It's been a while. I haven't actually been posting these videos. I've been recording, kind of editing some of them. I actually just started, in fact, today, posting them finally. So maybe I'll be able to catch up soon with them, and then we'll see if you guys are interested in that kind of stuff. And I'll be doing other things too as I get back into the swing of things here. I do have other ideas for a whole philosophy behind the fantasy. My guess, kind of a spoiler, and this isn't going to be nearly age appropriate as age appropriate as this stuff is, but I did get back into watching through The Walking Dead, probably because of all the new offshoots coming out now, and so I can't remember what season I'm on, but I already have been evaluating kind of closely as I go through, sort of, for a philosophy behind the fantasy series on The Walking Dead. But as I do that series, it's going to include things like or what am I, seasons ranked in order of like in my order of best to worst or whatever. And so, and of course, because that there's going to be a lot of content as to why I ordered them that way that's going to point toward the whole philosophy behind it, and especially behind each season and things going on, not just philosophy but the ethics, the morality, the but again in something like The Walking Dead, there's certainly a lot of that going on. But of course that is going to be not something that some of much maybe of this audience can hang out for, but there will be other things that this audience can probably hang out for. I'm trying to think of some of them right now. Star Wars will be on the list. I know a lot of people get into that, but that's a huge one anyway. Lord of the Rings will probably too, because Lord of the Rings is just so amazing. Tolkien is wonderful, and we'll probably also be able to talk a bit, as a lot of other people do again, about how it's been ruined in our contemporary day. And maybe this is a little niche, and I maybe have to get back into the swing of it a little bit, at least check it out, refresh my memory a little bit. Maybe we'll see if I should or not. But I did plan on doing some RuneScape philosophy behind that, because that's pretty niche, and so maybe that's a little more age appropriate, but not really, because they're kind of going probably the wrong way pretty quick. At least they had been for a while, probably since I know of. Could always get into. I don't really know much about World of Warcraft, but like Elder Scrolls would have been one I'm really interested in doing. That's a little more for the more of a mature-ish audience too, but not really that content as so much the games themselves. Really, you could probably tune in for the philosophy behind the fantasy of Elder Scrolls if you're a bit younger. I would say maybe, earlier teens or whatever, because while I may have game content for these things that can have game content, I will of course be keeping the content as appropriate as possible. We'll say that. So you can at least bet that I won't be doing anything ridiculous if there is a game such as Elder Scrolls. In fact, it's interesting. My young nieces and nephews will watch their dad play Elder Scrolls, but of course he's never doing anything too drastic or too out of their age range whenever they're watching. There's so many things you can do, even just slaying dragons. That's okay. But anyway, that's it for now, guys. I think I've rambled enough. Enjoy the little display I have up for now. My cool gold coin, a gold card, Pikachu card. That was what, Burger King or McDonald's, maybe, I don't know. On the whole, you can see a stack. I think those are my base set 2 trainer cards I have swirled around there in a stack. The quick ball just to the right of the quick ball. Between those, behind there, against the TV, is the number 1 of the first movie card, which is the Mew Legends card. And then on the other side is number 2 of the movie card, which is Mewtwo inside his encasement of glass and fluids. And then we have our cool. I actually have the rest of those in an actual like sleeve thing in the portfolio, but those 3, Dratini, Dragonair, Dragonite, of the first of those Topps cards are just there because I think I have another Dragonair and Dragonite, and then one more of one of those, maybe 2 Dragonites. Sorry for that truck beeping. And then those are extras that I just so happen to have of one of each of those second evolutions, and then just some other random cards. Anywho, that's it, guys. Sarah Ledge, Pokemon Day 2024 promo. Still in its plastic wrap, because why take it out? There's no reason. It is also in a hard case, because I have some of those hard cases that have like a lot of sticky tapeness on it, and that was a perfect one of the sticky ones. It was perfect to use for something that was never taken out of its little plastic wrap yet. So anyway, guys, yeah, I'm done rambling. That's it. I'll talk to you later. It's been fun. Peace. Say goodbye, Sydney. whatever.